Today in this lecture we will discuss about pteridophyte Marsilia. Friends, Marsilia is cosmopolitan in distribution and it is one of the very important members of Pteridophyta as it is heterosporous. Now first dealing with its classification, Marsilia classification is like this: Pteridophyta, Pteropsida, Leptosporangiate, Marsiliates, Marsiliaceae, and in this lecture we will discuss about Marsilia quadrifolia. Now the thallus of Marsilia is sporophytic and it is well differentiated into rhizome, roots and leaves. The rhizome may be underground or above ground. From it arises adventitious roots on the lower side, and on the upper side it gives rise to leaves. The leaves are compound. The young leaves are circinately coiled. The leaflets may be 4. They are generally 4, but their number may vary from 3 to 8. This is known as petiole. This entire leaf is compound. It is not simple. In India, about 9 species of Marsilia are known, and it is found in hydrophilous, amphibious and xerophytic habitats. Like this is Marsilia quadrifolia, which is found in water, Marsilia vestia, which is amphibious in nature, and Marsilia rajasthanensis, which is xerophytic in nature. Friends, this is our botany department, and in this we have tried to establish a pteridophyte garden, and this is a little pond made by my BSc 4th semester students, and here you can see Marsilia quadrifolia, which is aquatic in nature. These are the 4 leaflets, and you can see young leaves circinately coiled. Now this is underground rhizome inside the soil. Leaflets, the rhizome, it bears roots which are in the soil. The anatomical characters of this plant. Since this plant is aquatic plant, we can find certain structures typical of hydrophytic nature in the anatomical sections of Marsilia. First of all, when we cut TS of rhizome, we find epidermis, cortex and stele. Epidermis, which is single layered, continuous, without stomata. Cortex differentiated into 3 regions: outer parenchymatous, middle sclerenchymatous and innermost parenchymatous. The outer cortex has many air spaces, which is characteristic of hydrophytic nature, separated by a stretch of parenchymatous cells. Now coming to the stele. The stele is amphiploic siphonostele. Siphonostele, since pith is present. Amphiploic because phloem is present on both the sides of xylem. Outer endodermis and pericycle and inner endodermis and pericycle are present. On cutting a section of petiole, we find cortex and stele. Epidermis, again single layered, continuous, without stomata. Now here in petiole we find cortex having parenchymatous cells. The middle cortex has got air spaces. Endodermis and pericycle are present. The stele is triangular. Xylem is V-shaped and is surrounded by phloem. Cutting TS of root, we find outer epidermis, cortex differentiated into three zones: outer hypodermal, middle parenchymatous, and inner sclerenchymatous, or sometimes it is parenchymatous. Endodermis and pericycle are present. The xylem is dioic. Sometimes it is monarch also, surrounded by fluid. On cutting a leaflet, we see that there are two epidermis, upper epidermis and lower epidermis. Now, friends, stomata are present mostly on the lower surface, but if the species is aquatic, then stomata are only found on the upper epidermis. The mesopial tissue is differentiated into palisade and spongy parenchyma. Endodermis is present and the stele is concentric. Xylem is surrounded by fluid. Friends, now coming to the reproduction of this member, it reproduces by two methods: asexual and sexual. Asexual takes place by means of tubers which are formed on the rhizome, and on detachment they form new Marsilia plant. Now coming to the sexual reproduction, which is very important, since Marsilia is heterosporous, it makes two types of spores: big megaspores female and small microspores male. Now these spores are produced in special structures. You can see these tiny bean-like structures which are found near petiole. These are known as sporocarp. These structures are known as sporocarp, and on enlarging this we can see that it is made up of a big body attached by means of a stalk. The other name of this stalk are pedicel or peduncle, and the point of attachment of this stalk to the body is known as raphe. And just on the opposite side of raphe you can see two teeth-like outgrowths which are known as tubercles. Now the nature of these two we will discuss afterwards. On cutting a section of this sporocarp wall, we can find following structures: epidermis, single layered, having sunken stomata, two layers of palisade, and inner parenchymatous tissue. Now this inner parenchyma cells, they makes gelatin. Gelatin near the raphe helps in the opening of this sporocarp. Friends, by now we have come to know that Marsilia reproduces by the means of two types of spores: female megaspores and male microspores. These spores are produced in sporangia. Sporangia are produced in special structures called sori, and these sori are then produced in sporocarp. Now we can have different sections of the sporocarp. First, we can cut this sporocarp in horizontal, longitudinal section, and in this section we can find following structures. First, the sporocarp wall, then gelatinous ring, and inside it are present sorus. The sori number varies from 2 to 16. Now on enlarging this sori, we find that each sorus is covered by double walled indusium, and in each sori there is present an array of large megaspores, and on its lower side are present two microsporangia on both the sides. Now coming to the vertical transverse section of this sporocarp, First of all, we see sporocarp wall, gelatinous ring, and in this section only two sori are visible. If it is cut through microsporangia, then we will see microsporangia, and if the section is cut through megasporangia, then we will see megasporangia like this. Coming to the third section of sporocarp, known as VLS, vertical longitudinal section. In this, we can see only half of the sori, and if the section is cut by megasporangia, then only megasporangia are seen, and if it cut through microsporangia, then we can see only microsporangia. The nature of sporocarp is controversial, and there are two types of interpretations that have been given. One, which is known as pedular or whole leaf interpretation, proposed by Johnson, and second one is laminar or leaf segment interpretation, proposed and supported by a number of workers. According to this pedular interpretation, sporocarp is homologous with the swollen ends of the petiole, only of the branch of the leaf, and in which the marginal cells are devoted in the formation of sporangia instead of lamina. While in this laminar or leaf segment interpretation, the Marsilia sporocarp is found to be homologous with the is a modified lateral segment of the leaf, which is comparable with the fertile parts of the sporophyll. These two leaflets have these tubercles, which are teeth-like outgrowths, and these two leaflets having sporangia, they make body of sporocarp. Now this concept is accepted by a number of workers like Guzjan, Bower, Goebel, Ames, and Puri and Garg, 1953. Coming to the reproduction of sporocarp, as I told you earlier, Marsilia is heterosporous and it makes two types of spores: large female megaspores and small male microspores. The megaspores are being produced from megasporangium and microspores from microsporangium. These both are arranged like this: megaspores one above the other, and on the either sides are present microsporangium. Now in a sorus, only one megaspore is left, one megasporangium, whereas in a microsporangium around 32 to 64 spores remain functional. Water is absolutely essential for fertilization, and as the sporocarp has gelatinous ring all around it, the gelatinous ring, it comes out like this, carrying the sporangia along with it. The development of sporangium in Marsilia is leptosporangiate, in which the sporangia development takes place from a single cell. Now these are the sporangia which are attached to this gelatinous ring. The megaspore, when it comes out of the sporocarp, it germinates and it makes female gametophyte. The female gametophyte is a highly reduced structure having neck cells, one NCC, neck canal cell, one ventral canal cell, and an egg. Similarly, the male gametophytes, they germinate and give rise to a very reduced male reproductive structure, which give rise to 16 antherozoids. The antherozoids are multiflagellate. At the time of fertilization, the VCC and NCC, they degenerate, secretes a chemical substance which attracts these antherozoids, and fertilization takes place, resulting into a zygote. Now this zygote undergoes certain developmental changes and forms a young sporophytic plant again. And this is how the reproduction of mycelium takes place. Thank you.